What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's the Taylor Swift edition
Oh, God.
of Chiefs Focus Live. How you guys doing?
It's already so annoying.
Yes, I'm sorry. We couldn't even get through the game. Every time they're pandering. What's Taylor Swift doing? I guess we're about to have a lot of new Chiefs fans. So,
did you notice that, was it Fox that just basically cut the game off when it was like
they didn't do that for Kansas City because that would have been a problem. They didn't do it to
they
us.
did it for everybody else. They did it too besides you guys. So I just switched over and watched it on YouTube, but YouTube TV. But yeah, it was kind of crazy. I was like, what the hell just happened? You know, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. What a convincing win that was. What just a downright great performance by the Chiefs all around. Mm-hmm. What do you guys got?
I mean, it was the least stressful game ever. Start to finish, vanilla offense. There was no sprinkles. There's no chocolate sauce. There's no cherries. It was just straight vanilla, Belfonte, and it was pretty good.
Hey, nothing wrong with Belfonte. They're elite in Kansas City.
Oh, sorry, I meant to say Bluebell. What's the really good one?
Bluebell?
Yeah, Bluebell. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Hashtag not sponsored.
What a game. I mean, everybody looked like they were on point. Their wide receivers looked like they knew what they were doing. Everybody ran their routes correctly. I mean, I think there was, I feel bad for Rice because he got robbed twice out of the end zone for a touchdown two different times. But Pacheco back in rare form. Clyde still is not good. He had one good run. Everything else was like 0.5 yards a carry, after that. But McKinnon made him look really bad, after he ran for, I think it was five runs for 2.5 yards. And then McKinnon comes in and just busts one, like it's nothing. But it is what it is. They got until week 8 to get rid of him.
I'll be honest with you. They're probably going to keep him. That game showed me there's some things they can still do in the event we see McKinnon get hurt.
Maybe.
I just feel like at this point, they're just going to ride it out.
Well, they got P. Ryan sitting there too, and they can
That's true.
If they want, so.
That is true. So.
The only one thing we did learn is that Blaine Gabbert sucks.
I wouldn't say he sucks. It's just
he sucks.
It wasn't great, but
I'm sorry. Put Chris O in. I'm okay with that. Bring Chris O up. Put Gabbert back on.
Well, they might do that. I mean, he
put him back on a plane to Tampa.
He's been leaked for how many years? He literally stared down the receiver, and the linebacker just jumped in front of it.
Yeah.
The second one really wasn't his fault because it went through Rashee Rice's hands, so he caught it like this and went boom and bounced off. So that one. Kind of, but that first one was like, come on, bro. You've been in the league for how many years? And you just stared them down. They teach that in college. In high school, you can't do that because the defender's always going to jump the route. Always going to jump the route.
Well, and he was so slow in his progression. Once he got the ball in his hands, he was very slow in his progressions. Even with the screen, was very slow. And I just God, man, these guys are moving like Moses. But whatever, it is what it is. I mean, I know Mahomes wasn't very happy that he got pulled in the third quarter. I get it. I wouldn't be very happy either. But they
neither was my fantasy team.
What's that?
I said neither was my fantasy team.
Yeah. I don't think they pulled him for his ankle because they pulled every other starter for the most part. Kind of is what it is. Justin Fields is not wrong by saying what he said. They got a terrible coach.
Yeah. And I don't mean to interrupt you, JP, and I'm sorry I'm doing a lot of talking. I'll say this one thing. I'm going to let you guys take it. Look, I am always been pro player, but it comes to a point where players should not be criticized for throwing the coaches sometimes on the bus. That is going to happen. And I will tell you right now, Justin Fields has some talent that could show me he could be like Patrick Mahomes or under him. If he would be on the 49ers right now, we wouldn't be talking about Brock Purdy.
No.
Quite frankly, I advocated that it should have been Justin Fields should have went to San Francisco. Regardless, that's neither here nor there. What I'm trying to say is this. Justin Fields is a great quarterback. He's not going to do it with the Bears. He needs to go from another team if possible because it's just not working at all. It's just not. And it's only going to be worse for him. It's just going to be worse. And unfortunately, what we're going to see is, look, if I was him, I would request a trade. I mean, there's some great teams out there that could possibly take him. But also, when you look at it too, What do you expect the man to do? I mean, his number one receiver, DJ Moore, having my fantasy team, dropped so many catches, hurt me, but he got me 13 points. And he did all these other things. These guys aren't playing well. They're fumbling. There's only so much the guy can do. So it's just kind of like, goodness gracious, just so frustrating. So.
Well, the Bears are not afraid to fire a head coach early in the season.
They need to fire the whole management staff.
They really do.
Clean house.
They do.
Clean house.
They need to get rid
I
of
would
everybody.
keep them, but clean house.
Yeah, it's just, it sucks for, I feel bad for their players because they're on a really bad organization with bad coaches all the way around. Offensively, defensively, they suck. Coaching wise, their players are not bad players. They're just not coached well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good, but not much you can do about it. Let's go into our offensive and defensive players of the day. Who do you want to start with, Quentin?
I should go last because I end up taking your guys' people, so I'm just gonna go last.
Go ahead, Caleb.
Well, I'm gonna when we do offense first.
Yeah.
Defense. Okay, I'm gonna get my offensive MVP. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to, and some people may or not agree with this, but my offensive MVP,
Taylor Swift.
No,
I'm
it's
just
definitely
kidding.
not gonna be Taylor Swift, and she did
All
not
right.
light a fire on her. Kelsey was already gonna do this regardless anyway. We've seen it time and time again. So let's just put that to the side. I'm gonna give my offensive MVP to Mahomes, and the only reason I'm saying that is because he just went out there cool as could be, just dotted them up with a vanilla-like offense, basically knew where everyone was going to be, had so many great touchdown passes, 3, should have had a 4th one, Javon Taylor messed it up, but we can talk about that on Tuesday and the issues with that. But look, Mahomes has just shown he's just on another level. So I am happy and great to see that he is continuing to ball and do his things, and hopefully he stays healthy because this way the team is looking, if they can make another move or two, they have a chance to see Dolphins in the AFC Championship game.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you in any way. I'm going to go with Sky Moore. I am. I'm going to go with Sky Moore. He played well. His routes were clean. He caught everything that came his way. He was a good decoy. He made some good blocks. I was going to go with Pacheco just because he learned to block very well and he runs so hard, but I'm going to give it to Sky Moore today.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, I really just want to give it to Mahomes, right? I mean, I know that's the easy, it's the easy choice, but I mean, this is a guy that he came out firing and he showed why he's the best quarterback in the NFL on a day where another quarterback came out and threw 4 touchdowns and dropped 70 on the Denver Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Patrick Mahomes, while he didn't put up 70 points, they put up, 27 points in the second quarter alone.
Yep.
Right? This is a team this is what we've been looking for. And I think Patrick Mahomes finding Travis Kelce 7 times, Rashee Rice a few times. This is the offense that we've been looking for all year long in the first couple of games. Yeah. So I kind of just want to give it to Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, you could take that's fine. I mean, it showed. Look,
there's no doubt
he did some things today. I was like, that man good. That man's good.
So. Made 24 of 33. The 272 yards is a little misleading just because of the fact that he was pulled early in the game. So he would have easily been on pace for 350 yards. He had 3 touchdowns, and once again he got pulled basically as soon as the third quarter started.
Yeah,
and he had 127.3 passer rating. So that's a great day. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's just see you take that and move forward. Now Kansas City next week has the Jets, right? They are still a 1-win team. They got Zach Wilson in their game against the Patriots. So, moving forward, Kansas City, I don't want to call it an easy schedule because we just saw what the Cardinals did to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But this is a team that has an opportunity over the next few weeks to continue to put up performances like this where you take advantage of the bad teams. And that's what Kansas City did today. Yeah. And, I was talking with my dad this morning before the game started, and he was like, Quentin, is it bad that I have this feeling I'm scared of this game, the old trap game?
The old trap, yep.
That's because you watched 1993 Chiefs football. That's why.
Who said that?
My dad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, this it's different. And I know it's hard to, old habits die hard, but it's a different football game. Or it's a
Well, you know who else said that? Mark Ganells. He actually said it was going to be a trap game. He thought the Chicago Bears game was going to be a trap game for the Chiefs.
I thought it was going to be one. Just looking at the history.
Well, like you said last week, though, they got rid of their trap game in the first week of the season. They don't want to lose a game.
That's fair.
Even though Detroit's a better football team than Chicago, they're still not better than us. So
Kansas City played mistake-free football with the starters out there.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was
absolutely
everything was going right. I mean, Patrick Mahomes looked great. The wide receivers looked great. There wasn't a ton of just like, man, you gotta be better than that. I know Rashee Rice, there was a route he was running that he needs to make a better in cut. You don't need to. And I think this is just something that that rookie wide receivers need to learn in the NFL, is that when you make a cut, you can't drift. You have to make a cut, because if you drift, you're no longer going to be open.
Exactly.
I think that's just an adjustment that rookies need to make. The windows are just smaller, so those little moves matter more in the NFL than they do in college. But I'm not going to roast a guy on that. Sky Moore came out, and he looked good. 4 receptions, only 42 yards. Yeah, but you need guys like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not everybody's going to go for 150 yards, right?
Yeah.
In fact, the Chiefs didn't have a single receiver go more than 70.
Yep.
So, and you still put up 41 points. So,
and none of those were defensive points, by the way. Those were all offensive points.
Yeah, this is a great game to see, a complete game. And you can't be upset by anything.
No, they played very well overall. It was one of the games where I'm just sitting back, I'm like, okay, this is nice, it's chill. I'm not stressing, and it worked out.
No, it was good. I did that live gamecast during the entire show. The one thing I will say, and we can bring the rest of it up on Tuesday, is that 110% fact I know that they are targeting Jawan Taylor. And I know that because Andy lined up number 79, number 74 exactly the same way. You could put a laser across their back foot. And he did it for a reason, and they still called Taylor on that.
In the event, they're still going to pick. They're still going to go after him. I feel like, regardless. NFL,
that's ridiculous.
Even if he shows them, hey, they're still going to go after him. Unfortunately, that's the thing that just is not right. But
yeah, I think
it's wrong.
This is just something that's going to have to be dealt with all year, and he's just going to have to be extra buttoned up.
Yep,
that's the way that it is. You can't bitch and moan about it. You're just going to have to deal with it and move on with your life.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair, but whatever.
But I was told by my debate coach in high school, a fair is something you pay to get on a bus.
That's true. Well, you can go to a fair, the state fair. They suck, but you can go. A lot of people get killed on rides and stuff, but you can go. They get sick from corn dogs and shit, but still go to the fair. They are targeting him. It is what it is. They pulled him again. For the second straight week. They pulled him out of a game. He got back in the game when Blaine Gabbert was out there just to get him some reps,
PWT hurt his quad.
Yeah.
So that was a little concerning.
Yeah.
Kind of the backup. So I don't know what they're going to do.
Well, I don't know how bad. I haven't heard yet anyway how bad, what's his name's hurt? Our left tackle there. Donovan Smith. I didn't hear anything as far as like a major injury or anything like that. So
okay.
So far, so kind of is what it is. But I think Nick Bolton will be up. Hey, look, this was a statement game for our defense again because Nick Bolton was not out there. Willie Gay.
Let's just move.
I don't know if anybody
defensive players of the game.
Let's do it. I'm going to go with Willie Gay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm just going with Willie Gay. He chased down Justin Fields. He kept stride for stride with them on that one play. He was all over the place. He's just a solid, athletic linebacker that helps in every aspect of the front line. I mean, he's just that guy. I'm sorry. I hope they keep him for next year. I hope they re-sign him. I know you think they won't, but I hope they do because he's not. He's one of the best. In fact, if not, probably top 3 in the league as far as linebackers are concerned. So that's what I'm
I'll
going
have to say mine is Snead. He locked down DJ Moore, and DJ Moore's a guy, if he gets going early, it's hard to stop, and the Chiefs are able to basically lock him down. Snead, I have to give it to him because he's kind of had some ups and downs this whole offseason with the knee injury and things like that, but he's coming to his own. Did very good on the number one guy. So I have to give my hats off to him. Played very, very well.
Yeah.
I like that pick. We saw Snead make some great stops, some great passes, knock some passes down and stuff. So I like the Snead pick. I'm going to go sort of adjacent to JP here. I'm going to go with Drew Tranquill. Look, this is a guy that Nick Bolton's out, and you need a linebacker to come out and play. What was I worried about when we talked on Thursday night? I said, watch out for Fields running the ball all over this defense. Mm-hmm. I said the linebackers are going to be key in maintaining this game in a good defensive game plan. And Drew Tranquill was that guy. Ended up with half a sack. He led the team in tackles today, and he was just moving all over the field. That's why you bring a guy like him in. I will preach this until the Chiefs are hosting another Lombardi. Okay. The linebackers on this defense is the best individual segment of this team.
Preach it, Quentin.
It is a great example when you're missing your objective best linebacker by a good margin. And your linebackers can still come in and play, and the scheme doesn't skip a beat, and you're still effective in maintaining possibly the most athletic quarterback in the game. Right?
So you went with the linebacker then?
So I'm going with Drew Tranquill.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Honorable mention, I think, is Mike Dana. I think he was the most disruptive defensive lineman, surprisingly. Mm-hmm. But definitely Drew Tranquill for me is this guy that I think deserves the biggest shout out.
Okay. Chris was pulled a few times early in the game, which was a little surprising to me. There was 3 or 4 series in a row that he didn't play. Mm-hmm. So that was a little bit surprising for me.
I would say, to answer your question, JP, the part where they pulled him because he got a sack, I mean, they're already dominating. Let's say the reps till later. I feel like he's already done his thing. He at least got a sack. He's been aggressive in the backfield. So I feel like, honestly, at the end of the day, they're like, we'll pull him because of basically rest and things don't get hurt. So it's a win-win. It gave the younger guys a chance to go in there and ball out. So it's pretty good there. So
yeah, and McDuffie had a hell of a game again. McDuffie had a hell of a game.
McDuffie's going to become a staple name around the league.
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think people are scared of him already, and he's just today just solidified it. So he's shut down some of the best wide receivers in football as a rookie. So it just is what it is. We got to get into this Dolphins game a little bit. What the fuck? I mean,
it was pretty nice.
Seriously, the Broncos can't get any fucking worse than they already are, dude.
70-20, dude. That's terrible.
They lost by 50
points.
They lost by 50 points. They just suck. And Sean Payton did himself no favors by running his mouth about Nathaniel Hackett, because he looks just as bad as Nathaniel Hackett did, and it's not. I don't even know if it's the coaching staff. It's
Nathaniel Hackett didn't let 70 points get dropped on him.
He sure as hell didn't.
Yeah, that is true. It was bad.
And you know what? Karma's a bitch. Do you remember us talking about this 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whenever it was, when Sean Payton was running the score up in the third and fourth quarter on teams, 51 points, scoring 51 when he had Drew Brees because he just felt like doing it? Well, you know what? Now it's coming back to bite you in your ass because you got a quarterback that is not very good and probably hasn't been very good and really hasn't been very good for a very long time, was just surrounded by a lot of great pieces and a good head coach. In fact, a better head coach than you are in Peters. So I don't care what you say.
Yeah,
that team sucks.
It just showed me, look, the Chiefs and the Dolphins are the clear two frontrunners. You could say the Bills are front runner, but they play against the Washington Commanders, who really ain't nothing anyway. No. So honestly, I kind of feel like at the end of the day, it's going to work out for the Chiefs. And if the Broncos somehow beat the Chiefs this year after what I just saw, it's going to be a sad day for us Chiefs fans. So
if that would be the trap game if that happened.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bear trap is what that is. That just unbelievable. And they didn't even have Jalen Waddle out there. He didn't play today.
No, and they put up 70. That's just ridiculous. That's a Madden score. I'll be putting it on.
Yeah, I'll be playing like a 12-year-old and dropping a 70 burger.
70 points.
And none of those were defensive scores, right? They were all
There was one
scores?
defensive score. I think there was one defensive score. And then they had, if I'm not mistaken, did they have a punt return or a kickoff return?
I'm not for sure.
I have to look. I was watching one game today, and a fullback.
That was the Texans.
Yeah, he ran back one. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just because the way it ended up. But I think they had, I don't know why. I didn't watch the entire game, but I feel like they had a punt return or a kick return. Hey, what's up, Scott? And I agree with you as well. Washington should be the starting returner moving forward. I absolutely agree with you on that. I don't know, man. That was an insane ass whooping.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was college numbers. Wow. That's all I could say is wow.
I'm about to say that's like basically Alabama playing UAB.
Yeah.
Basically the equivalent, or USC playing, I don't know, Fort Lauderdale State.
Yeah.
Or when Oregon played Portland State, put up 81. I'm like, okay, well.
Yeah. What'd you expect? Yeah. But you didn't expect.
You never expect that to happen in an NFL game. Like I've seen like some 63-7. Okay. It was the Saints playing that really terrible Colts team. Sometimes those are going to happen, but like I wonder how the Let's Ride is going and the high knees and all that stuff. I bet Sean Payton's probably took a bat and probably broke a bunch of stuff in that office Wilson has.
Hey, don't worry. Tuesday, when we talk a little bit more about this game, I'm going to have some audio for you guys.
Perfect. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I don't know, man. That was crazy. There was a lot of games today that was not expected, like the Cowboys getting their ass kicked. Nobody expected that, especially by who they played. The Colts, again, stepped up, played a tough game. It was just a weird day of football when it came to some of these teams that won, convincingly won, and nobody really expected that kind of death. That was just a death jab. That was like, okay, Peyton, you know what? You're not a good coach.
Well, could have went for that field goal, but McDaniel was like, no, we're not going to do it. He should have did it though.
He should have.
I would have been like, I'm not passing this up. So
yeah, yep. And I think that's a lot of the coaches are going to go after him like that, simply because of his stupid ass comment about Nathaniel Hackett. You don't do that. There's a code, man. There's a code, and you don't trash a coach on live TV.
Yeah.
So you're going to get that from a lot of teams this year that just want to trash his ass just for that reason.
Yeah.
You're going to see it.
But I will say this, and we can transition this back to the Chiefs just for a little before we end. I mean, this is one great example we see of Andy. I mean, they're up 41-0. They could have easily ran up 2 more touchdowns, put Mahomes on the field, and put up 50, but they didn't. So I think that speaks to the coaching staff and the Chiefs. Like, we made our point. We've dominated. There's nothing else that we need to do. So I think that's also very important as well when we kind of see those different things, the way how the Chiefs organization works and rolls and does everything with other people.
Yeah, I agree. And honestly, the Chiefs, look, no matter how you look at it, everybody was so concerned after that first game against Detroit. I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys, there was some concern with Quentin, I know, but I knew that they would gel. And when they did, this is the result of it. And this is what these young guys need, is that momentum moving into the tougher games during the season. They need that high to know that they can do it. Mm-hmm. And this defense is no slouch. If they would have kept the starters out on the field, I don't think they would have scored. I don't think they would have scored. But they did.
They did their thing, and that's Andy's like, I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to let you have a little bit, but I'm going to still be dominant. And that win just showed a lot of different things what this team can do. So I think that's great. So,
and they were only able to score, they got their 10 points off of 2 interceptions, 2 turnovers. So it's not even like they were able to put together a real drive. They got decent field position, and they were able to move the ball then. And at that point, especially that second, the touchdown, Kansas City was playing a pure by definition vanilla prevent defense. Absolutely. They were like, there's 6 minutes left in the game. We're not doing anything complicated here. Keep you in front of us and make you run the clock out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's
yeah,
the
they
great
look like
thing.
the old Bob Sutton days.
I mean,
Well-
yeah. Except this time, it's
It was
like a real
warranted.
part of the strategy.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Not
wasn't
just a
a
game
game
plan.
plan.
It wasn't a game plan. It was just a real part of the strategy
Mhm.
there. So
Yeah. So
anyway, very good win. Happy with everything. Offense played lights out. Defense, again, our starters are just unbelievable. I don't know how you can really say anything different. In fact, the number one seeded Cowboy defense just gave up 28 points or whatever it
to
was
the Cardinals.
to the friggin' Cardinals. Okay,
Mhm.
you just gave up 28 points to the worst team in football, next to the Broncos.
Any given
So-
Sunday.
That's true. Any given Sunday.
Yep. So right now our defense should be ranked DVOA around 2. I don't know why they wouldn't be.
Yeah, they should be in a good spot.
So with that being said, I don't know what else we got, guys. We got anything else? Just a
I
quick
think
post
cut
game show.
everything. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks to everybody for joining, and we will talk to you guys again on Tuesday. Peace out, everybody.